It's a fallacy. Can you tell me what a fallacy is? Jordan Deerdoff, $5 says, can you explain the Catholics using this claim that Palamas says that Muslims worship the same God and the text Romans 3:29-30? Yeah, so we've already addressed this multiple times. I've addressed it publicly. It's funny because this was something that originally Sam Shamoon tried to use. I've actually read the work where Palamas is debating with an argument against Islam. It's funny if you actually read the work because it's an internal critique. Palamas is being used by Roman Catholics. It's laughably misread. It's a reductio argument. He's arguing that Muslims inconsistently invoke the word of Allah in the Quran, and yet they deny the word. It's much like when we say to a Muslim, you think Allah has a logos, then you're inconsistent. It doesn't mean that Muslims actually profess that Allah has a logos, a second person. The rest of this debate, which you can read online, Palamas's debate, it's against what at that time the Muslims were called the apostate Chioni. Notice he calls them the apostates. They don't worship the triad. Thus, the entire argument in the work is that they don't have God. This is so stupid. And I hope this highlights the stupidity of Roman Catholics for everybody in seeing this. He calls them the apostate Muslims. If you're an apostate, you've lost the faith. You don't have the adoration and worship of the true God anymore. But we're at this point where these people are so indoctrinated and under such a spell. And here's another quote. All you have to do is read chapter 1 of the Triads. This is so frustrating. And these people don't even read. Okay, people's attention spans are shot. They don't actually read books. I guarantee you none of these people actually read the book. The entire first Triad is against what Roman Catholics think natural theology is. How do I know? Well, I've got it right here for you. He says, all of the pagan philosophical conceptions of God are worthless and ended up being demonic idolatry. How good did the natural theology do for them? He says it's worthless because they ended up thinking that matter is divine and eternal, and thus deified matter, and they end up being fools. In fact, not only are they not taught God, he says they are indoctrinated into the rites of demons through their so-called natural theology. That's a summary and quote right there from Triad number 1 against natural theology. So, these people don't actually read these texts. As classic Roman Catholic fashion, they rely on an out-of-text quote mine and dupe all of you boring people that don't, or excuse me, all you lazy people that won't read. What does it say in 1 John 2? Whoever denies the Son, Muslims and Arians, does not have the Father. So, and I also think that a lot of the Roman Catholics, and I don't mean this to be rude, but honestly, my experience, many of them have not actually debated Muslims. They don't know that Muslims explicitly reject that Allah is Father.
And how can you worship something without having faith? Which is what the position implies, right?
Well, they'll say, well, but it's faith in the one God. It is not faith in the one God. The one God is the Father and His Son and Spirit. That's the Christian position. Yeah, but they're accidentally. No, it's not accidental. You understand? Islam is predicated on rejecting explicitly the Trinity in the Quran and the deed of Christ, and that Allah is Father, and that Allah is Spirit. Did you know that they don't believe that Allah is Spirit either? So, what's the key attribute? He's the creator. Oh, okay. So if I just say that any being is the creator, L. Ron Hubbard is the creator. So I worship the one God now? This is so dumb. I cannot believe when John in 1 John 2 is explicitly saying that if you reject the Son, you lose the Father. These idiots, to save this ridiculous, corrupt, papal idolatry system, will go to all lengths to rescue this idiot system. It's so insane to me. It's an idol. It's an idol. And by the way, I can keep going, but I don't want to spill all of my best arguments out here, because I've got many, many, many more. And I'm not just talking about scripture text. Okay? I've gone deep into medieval Roman Catholic councils this week, of which I knew about for a long time. But, I mean, I think an easy disqualifier here is to just show What did the Roman Catholic Church say about Islam in the Middle Ages, dogmatically? What does it say about Islam right now? And if that's a flat-out contradiction between multiple ecumenical councils, I've done my job. Father Deacon can go in and perfectly, with precision, dissect the philosophical linguistic argumentation. All I have to do is show that you've contradicted dogmatically.